Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Dr. Eric here from Dr. Eric Primex, doing a very short video. We've been doing a series of videos on the hormonal cascades and different hormones and how they affect fitness, nutrition, weight gain, weight loss, fat gain, fat loss, etc. So I'm going to do some more longer ones here shortly. Some question I had recently was about the rhythms of growth hormone and cortisol and how that affects us. So this is basically a very simple chart or graph of cortisol. Most people know that it tends to be higher in the morning and lower in the evenings, although some people can have abnormal rhythms. So typically, obviously, you get a spike in cortisol in the early morning. It's our bodies are telling us to wake up, get up, go work out, right? So typically between 6 and 8, 6 and 9, we get a spike. Sometimes it can be start off a little higher. Some people start off a little lower, but they rapidly rise to help us wake up in the morning. It tends to taper in the later morning and early afternoon. Of course, it's lower in the evening, and ideally it drops, in the evening around that 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and then of course that cycle repeats. Now, some people have abnormal rhythms. Of course, everybody hears about adrenal fatigue and things like this. People debate where that even exists, etc. However, some people can have some abnormal adrenal rhythms when they check, for example, on a Dutch test or any other hormonal testing. Like I said, they may start off lower, they may start off higher. Some people they stay flat through the whole day. These are the people that are just tired all day long. Other people are really tired, and towards the end of the evening, they call wired and tired, right? You're kind of tired, but you can't go to sleep. Your brain's on, you kind of feel revved up. You get that little late night surge, but you're still tired. And those are signs of abnormal adrenal rhythms, and that can be addressed. Usually it's underlying lifestyle issues that we can address. There's a lot of adaptogens and other hormonal support that we can provide to kind of flip that back into a normal rhythm. Now, how can we take advantage of this? Advantage of this is hitting it in the morning, right? I'm a big fan of fasted cardio or even just fasted workouts in the morning, because you get that spike in cortisol. Often have a little some intermittent spike in growth hormone, which I'll talk about shortly, but that can help the fat burning process. Yes, of course, some people don't disagree with that. Some people don't think fasted cardio is a great thing. I agree, it's not for everybody. Just like everything, there is individual variation. Try it. Give it a try. Give it a couple weeks or a week or two to try to see if you get used to, see if you like it or not. Some people do, some people don't. I love it. But again, if you're overstressed, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're having problems with your weight, maybe it might be too much cortisol for you in the morning if you're working out and you run out of gas. Or some people, concerned that you're gonna have too much stress and catabolism. And this is true, and that can happen. But again, go by how you feel. Again, if you're properly managed, you're well rested, your diet is improving, you feel pretty solid, give it a try. Again, I'm not talking going for an hour run, but maybe do a 5-minute HIIT workout or do some light cardio for 15, 30 minutes. Anything, even walking is great. But again, take advantage of that cortisol spike, because cortisol, when well managed and in a normal rhythm, can be very lipolytic and very helpful for helping break down those fat stores and burning them up for energy. So take advantage of that, and that will help your fat loss goals. So use the body and tweak its natural rhythms to your advantage. Similarly with growth hormones, obviously there are intermittent spikes throughout the day. The biggest spikes, of course, is in the evening. Usually between 9, 10 o'clock, sometimes 10, 11 o'clock. That's when you get your biggest spike. It tends to be the highest, and you get some later spikes on. But this is the key. The important part of going to bed at a reasonable time, typically between 9 and 10, or certainly before 11, because you're going to miss that growth hormone spike. That's when your body's repairing itself, healing, growing, tissue repair, fat burning, mental clean out, right? So obviously these can be helped with peptides, but I'm a big fan of using certain secretagogues to augment the natural response as opposed to the artificial response you get with injected growth hormone. So you can augment that, and as I mentioned, sometimes there are some spikes during the day. I have some protocols where sometimes I use the growth hormone secretagogues during the day for massive fat loss and mental clarity and energy and boosting workouts. So the last one is melatonin, which I did not really draw a graph on, but typically, obviously, it's low during the day and then it spikes at night, because that's when you're supposed to be sleeping, right? Around 9, 10 o'clock, you typically get that melatonin burst to help you go to sleep. So it's the opposite of cortisol. So when one's down, the other one's up, typically. Now again, if that's off, there could be something that we need to correct. Sometimes it's as simple as melatonin supplementation, not your generic kind, but usually a timed sustained release form, or maybe some other things to boost your body's own natural melatonin production, whether it's through diet or certain herbs or supplements, or it's managing that stress, right? Getting that cortisol down and helping with that. A lot of my patients are on magnesium, DHEA at night, and if you're eating a lot of melatonin-rich foods, this is all you need. So reach out to me for more questions about this if you want to learn more, and stay tuned to my hormonal series. More videos coming. Everyone have a great Monday. Talk to you soon.